The Goat House is back with my favorite picks and locks for NFL Week 17 here every week with this video. We are a day late this week. I apologize for that. Something popped up, but everything looking up. But let's get on to the picks. Spread locks of the week. I just have one here. If you follow us on Twitter, you knew I was in love with the Ravens minus 5.5, which panned out there. I'm leaning with Denver plus 3.5. I can't fully call it a lock, but you see down here I listed it. I have the Broncos winning. It should be a shootout, a back and forth battle, and it should stay within 3 points if they do lose. It's just not quite to that lock status, but it's pretty close. But I like the Dolphins minus 6.5. The scary part is they're going to play in the cold. We know the Dolphins can't play in the cold, but every time they're playing in the cold, they're playing a very, very good team, it seems like, and the Browns are not. They're a bad team as it is. Now they're injured. Now they're giving up. They have Dorian Thompson-Robinson at quarterback. There's just nothing there. No explosive plays there. I mean, they couldn't score points on the Bengals defense. The Dolphins defense is much improved. They're playing pretty well right now. They stopped the run very well. They're going to create takeaways, and the Browns just might not score many points. Like 13 max is what I'm feeling right now. So the Dolphins should do enough on offense where they win by at least a touchdown. So it's a little lower. You know, the line normally here would probably be like 8.5, 9.5. Pushing 10.5, but because they're in the cold, we get a pretty good deal when putting money on the Dolphins here. So I'll go with that. Again, I do like, the more I talk about it, I really like Denver plus 3.5. I have them winning the game. It's going to come down who has the ball last. So could it be a 7-point game? Certainly possible. But I have score predictions for every game. Went up a little earlier this week because the Christmas games, that is up. The thumbnail looks like that. It's up on the channel. You're welcome to check that out. We much appreciate it if you did. I also recommend checking out our weekly pick show for week 17, Christmas edition. We were laughing our asses off during that video. Also talking ball. My straight up locks been doing pretty well in those, as I should. We're just picking straight up winners, the most likely straight up winners. Give me the Dolphins. Talked about it. The Browns are outmatched. They can't do anything on offense. The Dolphins defense is getting better. They'll make enough plays on offense. The Bills, yeah, the Jets could keep things closer than expected. That's kind of what they do, but they don't win. And the Bills are one of the better teams in football. The Jets really struggle with a number of things. That really struggle at running quarterbacks. And you have Josh Allen. You got to go to Josh Allen in Buffalo. Windy conditions, it sounds like. The Bills will figure that one out. And the Colts playing the worst team in football in the Giants. And I know Richardson just spectating at practice sounds like could be Flacco. That's interesting. Jonathan Taylor's going to run all over him. I think Josh Downs have a pretty good game too. Those three teams should be locks to win. I was very, very, as you guys kind of can tell from the way I was talking earlier in the week, I was very confident with the Ravens. The Seahawks, even though I was not expecting 6-3, but those two teams probably would have been up here as well. But here are my three for the rest of this week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn notifications on. A bunch of NFL content here every single week, but just one total lock this week. Cardinals, Rams, 47.5 just seems a bit too high. The way the Cardinals offense has been playing, the way the Rams offense has been playing lately, and both teams, minus last week for Arizona, seem to be playing much better defense. The Cardinals are going to be without both their tackles. I just do not see both teams contributing to get over 47 and get to 48 points here, but especially the Cardinals in this one. So that just seemed a bit high. Really considered, I'm expecting a shootout in the Broncos versus Bengals game on Saturday. It got up to 50, so I still think it gets over that, but it gets a little sketchy there. The Broncos game plan could be just to drain the clock. It's a possibility. So and maybe their defense steps back up like it was playing, early year, mid-season. So I do like that one, though. But that is the one I'm going to go with for week 17. A little bit different of a parlay compared to how the other ones I do look, but I combine my two favorite alternate lines with my two favorite touchdown scores, and we'll talk about more touchdown scores in a second. But Dolphins minus 1.5, they will cover that. They'll beat the Browns, and they'll win by more than 1.5. Colts against the worst team in football. They'll be able to run the ball very effectively, and then two of my favorite touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, who kind of played pissed off last week after the mistake he made the week before, and he played better than he's ever played against the Titans. He's not always struggle against Titans, but he just never really ran for a lot of yards against them and went crazy. I'm really, against the Giants' run defense, I'm really confident he's going to score. And then Bucky Irving has been a monster. He was against the Carolina Panthers last time. The Carolina Panthers are 32 against the run, and the Bucks know last week against the Cowboys they needed to run the ball more. They got to know that by now. If they came out running more than passing, they would have won the game, because every time they did run it, good things were going. It's pretty good parlay for plus 302. Just 4 picks. They seem very, very likely, though. So it's a little different than I normally do here, but I did like that one a lot. My favorite anytime touchdown scores, got to go Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, who we just talked about in the last slide. Saquon Barkley should kind of continue on to that MVP status, and a big part of the game is running the football against the Cowboys. That's how you beat them, and they don't have Jalen Hurts out there. Barkley's got to score. And then 2 Buffalo Bills. I like Josh Allen and James Cook. It's going to be windy conditions. The Jets struggle against the run compared to how they play against the pass, and they specifically struggle with running quarterbacks. So I do really like Josh Allen, but James Cook has been on a tear of scoring touchdowns. He's on a streak of scoring touchdowns, and I think that can continue here in this one. And some really good plus options this week. Courtland Sutton, surprise, he's a plus option in the shootout type game it's supposed to be between the Broncos and the Bengals, because the Bengals defense really bad, the Broncos defense declining, but mainly because the Bengals defense is bad. The Broncos will score points, and how are they going to match the physicality of Courtland Sutton in the red zone while he's in the end zone? Josh Downs is actually expected to be Joe Flacco. Anthony Richardson a little beat up. Apparently, I've been out of the NFL loop the last day. I was surprised to see that today, so I like Josh Downs, playing the slot against the Giants. He could find the end zone. I think he'll have a good day. I really like Jayden Reed. I'd say I like Jayden Reed a little bit more than Downs because we're already riding with Jonathan Taylor. But Jayden Reed, it's kind of that time where they kind of finally get him going, and he always seems to play well against the Vikings. At the end of last year, earlier this year, he plays well. JSN, who also plays in the slot a lot, went off against them. He's been going off against everyone, but that kind of gave the Vikings some issues last week. And Reed, with his explosiveness, his speed, and he has the opportunity to do it, score a touchdown off a carry as well. Most likely it'd be a reception, but I like Reed at 160. I like that this week. Courtland Sutton feels like a guy that should be plus 100 at best odds. He's plus 135, so it looks pretty good. Always have more bets, best props for the NFL on game day. Parlays, we've been on fire with them on our Twitter or X at GoDustNFL. We've been on fire on there lately, so hopefully we can continue rolling with that. My college football lock of the week, we're going to go with the Pop-Tarts Bowl. We're going to go with Miami, minus 3.5 against Iowa State. I just think Miami's the much better team, and Cam Ward's going to play. He's out to prove something, trying to be that first overall pick. Iowa State's one of the better teams of the Big 12. Felt like they didn't belong watching that title game. The way Arizona State was able to move the ball without their best receiver, Miami's just going to be too explosive. There's some sneaky ACC teams that got them. I think they would win the Big 12. Just too explosive. They're going to be able to score points. And is Iowa State capable of keeping up? They're going to score some points too, but I just don't think they'll be able to keep up. Tough decision between that, and there's a lot of picks I like when it comes to bowl games. We have them for Twitter subscribers, ex-subscribers. Already have some posted. But for my pick in Colorado BYU, I like that one enough to where it belonged in this video. I just give the slight edge to Miami. I've been eyeing that one for a bit. Miami minus 3.5 because we had the kind of the feeling that Cam Ward and some other key players were going to play. But I have picks that I like already up. I like some more than others, and I plan to have picks. You're just kind of waiting for last second things on some more big notable schools out there. Games playoff game too between Boise and Penn State. I think it's a pretty simple one. Well, I'm blocking a lot of the things that it says up there, but we'll have more Twitter subs, get those bonus bets, especially for college football like we've been doing all year long. But that'll do it for the locks video. Back on track, back on Thursday, I hope, next week for this video like we do every single week. But a lot of NFL content, so join us for all that. Check out our weekly pick show and a lot more. But that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.